Good morning. Welcome back. It's Tuesday today. It's very cold this morning. Like it was 24 degrees, I think, when I woke up. The ground is frozen. I'm gonna take this gator out. We're gonna see if we can do a little boundary mapping. So I've got a few measurements to take before we get started, but we're getting everything fired up here and ready to go. So I put our Starfire 7500, the new receiver that we got, on the Gator. That is running SFRTK, so it's RTK level accuracy without a radio base station, which is pretty cool. We've got our G5 Plus universal display in here, which I'm getting fired up, and I have a M-Series modem in there that I've just got connected to that battery because it was easier than wiring the thing in. We're going to use this for some boundary mapping. I'm going to see if I can get everything set up. I need to measure. I want to measure where that point, where that chain is hanging, is in relation to the GPS receiver so that it knows exactly where that is, and that's the spot that we're going to use to map the boundary. So we got a little setup to do here. All right, I think I've got the measurements in, except for the only thing I can't figure out is how to put in an implement width. There's no spot for that, so we might need to get outside and get towards the field to be able to figure that out a little bit better. But I've got GPS receiver height put in. I've got distance from the rear axle to the what we're calling a front 3-point hitch. All of those measurements we've got, so we know where this line is. We just don't know where this line is yet. Well, I'm not sure I'm doing this right. This is my MTG, and the colors, I know what the colors mean, and that's a good thing, but it doesn't seem to be connected to my display, because when I click here, it's got all this stuff on set, and it says it's offline, not connected, but it is connected via this cable right here. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be connected, but it is connected. So, I'm a little confused. It's not the end of the world. We'll use a USB stick if we have to. I just thought it would be nice if the boundaries, automatically went. Then I have it, so I plugged it in. Anyway, let's see if we can figure out how to map a boundary. I don't know that this field really needs done, but it's the close one, and so it's going to get done. So we're going to, wait a minute, cancel. We got to find the right field. 1-2. Boundary. Create a driven boundary. Okay, we got to figure out how to get this implement work point thing there. Alright, let me do some figuring. Okay, well, we got this field done. I got my modem connected. They had to add it to my account, so I had called the call center for the dealer, and they called me back and they got it done. So now we're connected. Green circle, that's good. Yeah, first one went okay. My chain hangs pretty good. Every now and then it starts swaying a little bit, but it's good enough. Whenever I've done these in the past, I always kind of make the corners, and then if I have a straight side, I pause the recording and just drive to the other side, basically, other edge of the field, so that it snaps a straight line without every little crook and, I can't drive straight, so seemed like a good way to get straight sides. Now, deer doesn't really like doing that, and in fact, if you're making autonomy capable boundaries, you can't do that. So I'm not sure how these are going to come out, but we're going to do a couple and see how it is. Alright, we're going to remap this field over here because our deer hunters took some of this ground to make a food plots, which, yeah, I'm not crazy about it, but this is a pain in the butt little finger to farm anyway in here. So we just kind of squared it off with the edge of that field, kind of, sort of, and did it that way. I don't know. We're gonna make a boundary here. Okay, so let's show you guys how to do this. First thing we're gonna do is select the right field. We are in 2-1. Okay, so now it's got my boundary there, but I'm gonna hit this little boundary button. We're gonna create a driven boundary. And I'm doing it from the machine or implement work point, which it shows in the picture behind it, but I have a front mount implement in, so that is the point where it is recording. But yeah, see, not not autonomy capable. In fact, if I do this, now we can do autonomy capable boundaries. But that's going to make the point from my receiver. It's going to make it like back here. I don't really want that. Seems like this is more accurate, but whatever. And we are 3.667 feet. Basically, we're 44 inches from the center of the machine to where that chain hangs down. So that's what my offset is there. And we're going to hit OK. It's going to pull up a map. We're going to start driving. Now, see, there's this pause button. And I could hit that pause button and drive to the edge of this woods and then unpause it, and it would snap a straight line. That seems like a good thing to me. We're going to do it. Okay, so now we're down here at the edge of the trees. I've got that basically where I want the edge of my boundary to be. It drew a dotted line, but we're going to hit resume, and now it fills that in. So now we'll make our corner. We got some water, and we're going to do the same thing again here because this is also a straight line. So get it where we want it. About right there. Hit pause. They cleaned some trees up over here this winter, it looks like. Got some burning to do. Frozen today. There's a tree in the field. Muddy there. It's gonna get real muddy out here real fast. We're gonna get a bunch done of this. I thought while it was frozen this morning, I might be all right. All right, now the boundary, it field kind of curves in there a little bit. So we're gonna get right where we want it here, right on this edge. And as we look back, I mean, that's a pretty straight line, or at least I want it to be a pretty straight line. So we're going to hit resume. Gloves don't always work the best. There we go. Now we're just going to drive this, follow that edge as best we can. Maybe we'll make this edge a little bigger next time we come through here. Make our corner. And we could do the same thing here. Now it's going to curve around those woods a little bit, but maybe we'll just try this one. Essentially, we just go around the outside of the field, making boundaries. Okay, I got this field done. We'll have to go back in on the computer and look at the new boundaries compared to the old ones, see what the acres differences are and stuff, and just kind of compare. We can overlay them with the old one on top of the new one kind of thing, and see what we get and what they look like. Alright, it's cold. Should I try and do another one? Maybe we'll jump across the road and do that one. Oh, let's jump up here and do this field around my house, seed warehouse here. That one, the boundary has moved a little bit as I got my house in place and got our yard finished up and stuff. So it needs to be done anyway. Okay, I'm cold. We did 4 fields. I kind of want to check them, see how they look on the computer compared to, I think they do. That's actually not bad. It works pretty good. They go quick. Yeah, I think we can cover a lot of fields in a hurry if we had a good day to go work on them. I would wish it would be dry and warm rather than cold and frozen, but take what you can get, even though it's the second week of April now. All right, well, we ran some updates on our display. I tried getting that data. It's not on my John Deere yet. Whether it needs time to process, I don't know. I tried to move it manually with a USB stick. That didn't seem to work either, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But we got to figure out where my boundaries are before we keep mapping a bunch. Anyway, Brock's here today.
Hello.
You act like you hate your life. What's the problem, Brock?
Nothing.
He's cleaning again. That's the problem. We've got the soybean, well, the plates for the planters that need cleaned up. Bowls. Sorry. Yeah. So the corn planter, they have these bowls here. These are what basically the seed vacuums too. And so we're just cleaning them up, and then we'll coat the backside with some more graphite. Although these don't look like they're in too bad a shape. So that's good. The bean ones, the graphite wears off the back of them, and we'll have to clean those up for the bean planter. They're flat plates. So anyway, Brock's working on that. I'm going I'm going to lunch, and then we're going to probably treat beans this afternoon because I keep saying I need to do it, and I keep putting it off. Oh boy! All right, we are mixing up stuff, getting ready to treat beans. We got to do a bunch here this afternoon. It's probably going to be a late night, but that's okay. We're going to treat most of the beans for our farm, if not all of them. I have 28 boxes to do. We've got the first 8. There's 2 different varieties there. The problem is a lot of these are 4 and 6 box runs, but it is what it is. It'll be fine. We are putting inoculant and heads up on. We're going to talk about the heads up a little bit more today because we didn't do that a couple weeks ago when I was talking about stuff. But the inoculant and the heads up are both mixed in this tank. They go on together. Over here, we have this tank that is as full as I have ever had it. But that's what we need in there. So we've got Saltro and Cruiser Max Apex in here at the correct ratios for what we are treating today. And that should be it that's going on the seed. We aren't going to need very much water at all, but we're going to go ahead and get started here. First run is 4 boxes of a new bean for us this year, 2925 XF. 2,910 seeds per pound, so that's not terrible seed size. We'll be just fine with that. We're going to get that loaded into the treater and get started here. All right, push to start. At some point here, the beans will start flowing. Are they going to be ready to start? Might take a second or two. Oh, pretty good. All right, I'm going to have to adjust our water rate down because we're putting so much liquid on these. We don't really need any extra. We're just going to put that down basically as low as it goes. I'll watch it a little bit. Yeah, they look good. Good coverage. Happy with it. Brock's here. He's going to help this afternoon because we have a lot to go through, so he's getting second batch. We're going to try and knock these out. Well, it's going to go fast here. We're on box number 8. I've got the next 7 out. They're all the same variety, but there is 2 different lot numbers of it. Look at that. Look at that. That's not okay. That's how you get boxes, tabs, and beans. Anyway, oh, that forklift gave me some trouble for a second. It wouldn't go up and down, but then it started working again, so hopefully we're all good there. We got another row just about cleaned out. We got 1 box left, and all but 2 in that row are treated and ready to be delivered. Those 4 are treated and ready to be delivered. So, yeah, we're going to clear it out a little bit. We're going to pull 4 boxes from here, 6 boxes from this row, push that back at least 1 spot anyway. We're going to do a bunch. I'm going to try my best to put these right on a trailer and haul them out of here and not stack them up in here because these all go down to the farm. Should be easy. Well, we're still moving through these, so we got, what, this box plus 2 more, and then we'll be at 20. That's how many boxes we were supposed to do with Saltro on it, so we'll see if my tank is empty when we're done. It looks about right, but you never know. Let's talk about heads up. Okay, so one of the things that I have been using for the last few years, and I think works pretty good for me, but we're going to do some more extensive testing with this year, is this Heads Up plant protectant. And it is Heads Up is they tell me it's a biological. I'm not entirely convinced that it is a biological, but basically it is there to kind of almost like mimic the disease or a pest on the plant early so that the plant builds resistance to it, is more or less how I understand that it works. Almost like a vaccine. Think of it kind of that way. You know how you in a vaccine, it's kind of a dead or a very weak version of a virus or whatever you're trying to protect against, and so then your body builds immunity up against it. Well, that's basically how this stuff works. And it caught my eye because they talk about it being effective against white mold. White mold, which we fight a lot of white mold. Here, this side you can read it easier. Pre-plant seed and pre-transplant seedling treatment for the prevention of fungal and bacterial diseases of plants, including sudden death syndrome, rhizoctonia root rot, damping off, Pythium, and white mold. Okay, cool. So all of these things are bad, and we have sometimes, white mold is the one that I have very few ways to actually control. None of my other seed treatments have any efficacy against white mold, and so if this does anything for it, it's worth it. It's relatively cheap. And the first year I started using it, I think, was 3 years ago. And it was the year after we had really bad white mold, and I'm like, all right, we got to do something. And so I found this, started using it a little bit, and the next year I had one field where we had split it. And part of the field had heads up, part of it did not. And it was the only field where I saw any white mold that year, and it was only in the beans that did not have the heads up on it. So I'm like, holy cow, this stuff works. It works really well. Now the next year, 2 years ago, was a really bad white mold year for us. And I had used a ton of heads up. And then I'm like, wait a minute, all our beans have white mold in it. But it came in really late. It was like Labor Day or last week, August, September, 1st of September before we saw it. And our beans still yielded really well. And so while the white mold came in, I think that it delayed the onset of it enough that our beans yielded through it. And we still had pretty good beans, even where we had severe white mold. I wouldn't even call it severe white mold, where we had heavy white mold pressure, and you weren't supposed to have good beans at all. And so that's why I've been using the heads up. It does not totally prevent you from getting white mold, but it seems to make it less severe and make it so that the beans are still halfway decent, even where we do get white mold. And so, between that and the fact that it's cheap, I've been using it. I use quite a bit of it. All of these beans here today are getting it. Almost all of the beans that we're planting this year are getting it. I have a couple of customers that use it occasionally, and I think it does something. How much? I don't know. Something. Now, on that note, we are going to find out a little bit more this year because Heads Up has partnered with me to do some trial work for them. And so I have a variety that we're treating, some boxes with Heads Up, some boxes without. Everything else will be the same and constant. And we're going to split a field, plant a couple of blocks, and try and document it throughout the season. We will see if there's any noticeable difference in growth. I highly doubt it early in the season. But if white mold shows up, which I expect this to be a heavy white mold pressure year, hopefully we'll be able to see some differences, either walking through the fields from the combine, or maybe even taking the drone up and looking at it and seeing some strips. So we're gonna test it. I'm gonna do my best to get good data for them, and we'll see if we get anything out of it. But I like the Heads Up just from the sense that it gives me some protection against something that is very hard to protect against. So yeah. That's what we've got. It comes in these little packets. This packet treats 400 units. It's a dry powder in there. I put it into a little shaker can, shake it up with some water, and then we dilute it out to 100 ounces. 100 ounces per 400 units, so that's a quarter of an ounce per unit, and it's mixed in with our inoculant going on that way. All is good. Oh, we made it. 28 boxes. It's a lot of beans. These are all for our farm. It's almost all of them for our farm. But yeah, let's get up high so we can see. There you go. Cool. Well, they look good. We're going to let them sit here tonight. We'll get our samples and lids put on in the morning. I got some of them labeled. I didn't get all of them labeled. I think everything from this line that way has labels on it. Look, there's Rylan. What's up, bud? So I'll clean up a little bit, and we're done for the day. How's school?
Good.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching this one. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up button for me, please. Tomorrow we're going to organize all those boxes, meaning put the lids on them and take them over to that barn. And we have to strap them all down too. It's a real pain in the butt. Anyway, we'll get that taken care of. See what else is going on. We got 7 of those boxes go to Berkey, so we might just load them on the trailer and take them down there. I don't know. We'll see. It's supposed to be raining. If it is, that'll affect what we're doing a little bit. I don't know if it's actually going to rain, or it's just kind of going to rain, or it's going to snow, or I don't really know. I'm ready for it to warm up, though. How about you? Are you ready for it to warm up?
Yeah. Bye.
All right. See you guys tomorrow. Most likely, we'll see you tomorrow.